Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, where we've got some pretty crazy summoning news coming in today. Effectively, what this is, a summon rush with fragments for Michinaki. Effectively, what this is, guaranteed events are back on the menu. If we jump over here somewhere, my goodness, there's too many fragments in here. Oh, way too many. He's in here somewhere. It did show up as a red dot earlier. Somewhere in this, I could have even scrolled past him. No, he's the last one. Of course he is. Michinaki, gather up the fragments. And yeah, there you go. So let me break it down in today's video. I've got the news, of course, as well, in terms of the champions that are going to be in this summon rush, because not only is it a form of guaranteed champion, but it is a normal summon rush at the same time. The first question that is probably on everyone's mind, and I think is the pertinent question, is how much is this going to cost? How many shards will you need? To put it in context, right, the previous guaranteed events have ranged from, actually, I think it was 111 Ancients, maybe, up to 150. For Voids, it has varied between 80 to 110. With Voids, actually, I think it's only ever increased in price. I'm pretty sure it's only ever gone up. With Ancients, they started 150. They did a few kind of weaker champions at around 120. For Sacreds, they did, most of them have been 15 Sacreds. They did once, it went down to 12. And then the most recent one, Elva, of course, jumped up to 20 Sacreds in cost. For a Summon Rush, then, if we were to put that in Summon Rush points, I've excluded some, I think, of the less likely things. So 150 Ancients in terms of Summon Rush points would be 3,000. This just more so, it's definitely not going to be 3,000. There's zero chance. This just sort of shows you how bad Ancient Shards are for Summon Rush. They're just really wasted there. 80 Voids would be 9,600 points. Bearing in mind, a typical Summon Rush is usually 7,500 to max it out. So that's a lot. 110 Voids would be 13,200 points. That's a lot. 15 Sacreds, 7,500, actually the typical maximum for Summon Rush. And then 20 Sacreds, the most recent guaranteed Sacred, would come out at 10,000 points. So it's going to be a lot of Summon Rush points. And here's the thing. Here is the thing, right? If 20 Sacreds, this is a worrying thing. If 20 Sacreds is judged to be a reasonable cost without any other event on, right? Pull 20 Sacred Shards and there's no Summon Rush. There's no other rewards. There's no 10x event. There's nothing. It's just 20 Sacreds for a Legendary. It sort of stands to reason that it could be more here then, right? They could easily do more because it looks like you're certainly getting anniversary points along the way. There could be typical things like books and chickens and stuff along the way. And there's, of course, a 10x event happening at the same time. So what I'm saying to you is prepare for the worst. I'll tell you my prediction right now. I actually think that the good news is that seeing as this is the first time they've done a Summon Rush guaranteed like this, I actually expected this for the Supreme Kale stuff. Was what I expected, or Supreme Galek or something. I thought they would do a Summon Rush for this, the anniversary. They've actually done it here. My bet, I actually think 10,000 is probably the most likely thing. I think going in at 7,500 points would obviously be better for everyone. But I think seeing as you're going to be getting extra resources along the way, and compared to a guaranteed as well, you've got the benefit of being able to mix and match your shards. I don't think, this is Plarium, I don't think they're going to do it for that cheap. And I think going over 10k is probably going to be a bit too much. But for the future, again, considering you get Summon Rush benefits, which Plarium sees as like the way Plarium will look at this, I'm telling you right now, is they will go, well, you could pull 15 Sacreds for sure for a guaranteed. That was very popular. Okay. If you're going to do 7,500 for a normal guaranteed, and people pull shards anyway, 7,500 for normal Summon Rush, that's what whales do. Why not combine them together? I could easily see this going as high as 15,000 in the future for this sort of thing. Easily. So that is something to prepare for. So of course, it's always about being prepared. Typically, you know, you can prepare in advance. If you want to get some YouTube cred with your fellows, you can prepare your outrage posts for the comments. There's going to be tons of those. You'll get thumbs up. People love it, right? But yeah, you can prepare those because it's gonna be some price like this. People freak out about all of these. I mean, people were outraged at 12 sacreds for Sissia, which is ridiculously good value, but people are outraged about that. So again, prepare your outrage posts, and you're in there. Nice, go you. Um, you can watch my breakdown on guaranteed if you want. But look, for someone, it's obviously a ton of shards to save up, and it's very difficult to save up this many shards. The nice thing I do think about the Summon Rush format is that because you can mix and match shards, you can mix and match shards. It makes it maybe a bit more doable, but could up the point requirements, unfortunately. Um, Definitely for looking forwards, you know, it's possible. Like I said, they generally have increased the price of guaranteed events as things have gone on. So they might do this again in the near future, and it could be a great champ again. And yeah, you could start saving up now. Just try not to use any of your sacreds. Just save them. Skip all the 10x events. Skip the double legendary events, and just save for the next summon rush guaranteed type champ. Because yeah, it's definitely been a question. We haven't had a guaranteed for ancients or sacred. I would not consider this a guaranteed for ancients. I definitely consider this a guaranteed for sacreds, plus some voids to help. But yeah, that's how I'd look at it. So guaranteed sacred champions still seem to be on the menu. We'll see the cost. I would like to go for it, and I probably will, but it could be very difficult. I did work it out for myself. Let me show you my calculations here. Actually, I think I'm slightly off. Yeah, so I've put in 10 voids. I've got 4 voids sitting in personal rewards for Clan v Clan to claim, 9 sacreds because I've got I have 8 right now. There's 1 in the personal rewards. I actually will get another sacred from the actual Titan event as well. But yeah, for me, I can do this, but it's going to be really hard. I really don't want to waste the Ancients. I think that's a waste. And next weekend is 2x Ancients anyway, though I don't know if I'll do it. But yeah, I'm probably going to be pulling a whole bunch of mysteries, or I might just buy some Void Shards because just my time's worth that. and I don't really care so much about paying for stuff, because as a content creator, it's a whole different ball game, right? But yeah, look, there we go. In terms of Michinaki himself, how good is Michinaki? Michinaki is one of the best champs in the game for Hydra. AoE Hex with the buff strip. The buff strip, not so important, but it's nifty to have, right? But AoE Hex is incredibly good for Hydra. Then AoE decrease defense and decrease attack. Again, for Hydra, fantastic. 2 AoEs on 3 turn cooldowns. His A1, chance to burn, is great. With this passive, whenever an ally attacks an enemy under Hex, he's a 50% chance to ally attack with them. So he actually ends up effectively doing a lot of damage because he's getting in all these ally attacks with War Master procs. He hits hard. He's going to be spreading lots of burns. The Hex does a ton of damage as well. So he's actually fantastic. Like, if I get him, he's going straight into my Nightmare team. I use Geomancer at the moment. Michinaki is better than Geomancer for Hydra, and we know how ridiculously good Geomancer is, and he's also much more auto-friendly as well. So yeah, he's really top tier for Hydra. Not essential, right? There's other champs you can put in, like Acrisias are better. Obviously, Tila Gourmain's real good now, I think, is like a Hex and Burn type champion. But yeah, Michinaki's super good. So for me, as a Hydra person, if I'm able to get him, I definitely will. I just got to cross my fingers. So I don't have a ton of shards that it's not going to be too crazy. So we'll see. For the not the guaranteed, for the summon rush, then here we go. Let me grab this and pop this in. What are the 10x champions? So obviously, special 10x event. These are the ones. So a lot of ally protectors basically is the theme of this. We got Neckrat in there, Kira, Sniktrak, Truath, White Dryad Nia, Skull Crusher, Taragi, and Trumbor. Let's talk about the Void Shards first. Because yeah, certainly for the whales out there, right, it's easier to buy Void Shards than it is to buy Sacreds. Certainly the Voids are also quite juicy, because I imagine you're short on Sacreds too, so you might need to pull Void Shards, everyone probably, to boost this up if you got any left. White Dryad Nia, super good. AoE decrease speed. She's got the single target heal, which cleanses and then decreases the cooldowns of ally skills by 2 turns. Ally protection and strengthen on all allies for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown is really good for an epic and just in general. And then whenever she's healed, heals every ally except her by 20% of this heal. So what you can do at White Dryad Nia, she is phenomenal for Hydra, absolutely insane. AoE decrease speed is amazing. Really helps your team stay alive. You can reset then your nuker, especially if you play on manual. You can target who to reset. So hey, oh, we need more healing, we need more cleansing. Okay, I can reduce the cooldown on my reviver, bring someone back from the dead if someone dies more quickly. I can use it on my Royal Guard or Husk or something like that to get them back to their big nuke, and we get way more damage. I put it on Geomancer. There's so much you can do with it. And then you could totally run her in like a lifesteal set. And with this AoE A1, you could put her in a Guardian set or something, and she's going to start pumping out loads of healing to your entire team as well, which is pretty potent, right? Or if you got Leech out there and she is War Master and starts proccing War Master AoE, tons of healing. So she's phenomenal. And then Neckrat obviously is absolutely top tier Void Legendary for Arena. There's a few ways, getting more ways to deal with him. Like Supreme Melhane's actually pretty good against Neckrat. She can ignore this ally protection and the shield and stuff and nuke down the target, which is pretty cool. But yeah, just because he protects your nuker pretty much at the start of the fight, he's absolutely nuts. He's going to be absolutely nuts for live arena as well. Very likely that he will be banned, but that opens you up to bring in other OP champions, like if you got something like a Warlord or a Yumiko and a Neckrat, like things start to get super nasty super quick within your team. So he's super powerful. Ally attack stuff as well, just tons of team protection, tons of shielding. Very, very good. So obviously everyone wants Neckrat. Really no surprise there. For then the others, we've got Taric, Skullcrusher. Two great champions. Obviously both featured prominently in the recent clan boss draft we did. Taric, amazing clan boss champion. Big shield for the team and ally protection on a 3-turn when booked, and it gives him a nice big heal as well. He reflects damage, which is really good against affinity clan boss. He brings decreased attack as well. And then for other forms of content, he does have an AoE provoke. He's a pretty alright like budget Hydra champ because he's got an okay chance to provoke. It can be a little bit clunky because you need debuffs out there, and he does good protection and keeps himself alive. So he's actually a great solid overall champ. So definitely a great champ to get. He's a beast for faction wars as well. And I think people do struggle a bit with Shadowkin to keep people alive. So he's very good. Skullcrusher, I have a video coming out on later, actually, which is great timing. And Deadwood Jedi is joining for that. So stay tuned on the channel. There is a Deadwood Jedi feature video where we run Skullcrusher in Hydra, which is great. But counterattack on an epic champ with ally protection as well. I mean, obviously for Fire Knight hard at the moment, it's like Cardial plus Valkyrie seems to be the only sort of viable way to do it in reasonable time, plus like Acrisius and stuff. It's kind of dumb. I mean, maybe they'll nerf Fire Knight hard and maybe counterattack is going to be important, so Skullcrusher would be good to have. Yeah, he's more like if you get him, he's a great champ to have on your account. He could be really useful for stuff. And you can check out the Hydra video later to see how he does on Hydra. Not easy to use, but very powerful if you get him in the right spot. So Skullcrusher is great. I don't know, he's not a sort of champ I'd be going out hunting for, but he's just a good one to have. Then we've got Truath, Snicktrack, and Kira. So sort of more middling, I would say, legendaries, to be honest. From these, Truath is intriguing. I think I'm pretty sure I did a video on Truath. So the interesting thing about Truath is Perfect Veil, right? He's an AoE with a Perfect Veil for 2 turns. That puts counterattack on himself. So the gist here is he helps you deal with Torment because of the Perfect Veil, and he can Mischief Tank as well with the counterattack and Strengthen buff. Like if you don't have those buffs in your team, he can Mischief Tank pretty well. So the issue he runs into is this cooldown is a 4-turn, and these are only up for 2 turns, so that's a problem. His A1 does tons of healing for himself, so he's never going to die. And then he's got, again, loads of healing with this one, and he put out some ally protection stuff. He does decrease the cooldown of his ally protection and heal and balancing stuff when his HP goes down. So he really pumps this one out. So yeah, it's like, I don't know, maybe I think the new set from Arena would be helpful, a Reflex set. The new Arena set is a better version of Reflex to try to keep this cooldown lower and setting it as priority 1 because it's important. He does get messed up by the Torment Head. That was the biggest problem I found, is that you bring him in to protect your team from Torment and to just heal your team. So he does those 2 jobs. But because he counterattacks, if Torment hits him and he counterattacks Torment, then he gets True Feared. And if he misses this move with True Fear, then your whole team drops the Perfect Veil and things go pretty bad. But he's okay. He's like an okay option. Like if you don't have Duchess and you don't have a bunch of Shemales, I kind of feel like just building a Shemale team is better, to be honest. But Truath is a good sort of alternative. But yeah, not super exciting. The next one then we've got is Akira, the Watcher here. Defense base, again, big ally protector. So ally protection with increased defense on the 3-turn cooldown. So that's tons of survivability. She has AoE decreased accuracy. That also decreases enemy buffs. A1 is decrease attack. Her passive is like a Krisk style passive that puts out decrease attack. I feel like she's fairly average, to be honest. Doesn't seem super useful to me. She's obviously great for Demon Lord clan boss, but that's not super exciting. Yeah, I don't know. Like, again, as a really strong ally protector with decreased accuracy, that's kind of cool, and decreased attack, they're good debuffs, but kind of middle tier. Not super useful, but she could be. For me, the exciting thing, I mean, I'd be okay pulling her because my soul collection, I have it here. Look at this. I have a 6-star Kira soul, which I'm like, might as well. You know, she's not a super exciting champion, but this makes her quite interesting. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, what do you guys think of Kira? And then I think the best one of these is definitely, for me, Neckrat is the best of the three. I think Neckrat's actually super good. So he brings in ally protection with reflect damage, which is cool. And then he also has AoE decrease speed with a really big shield, right? That can't be removed most likely. His A1 is decrease attack. And then with his passive, he's putting out leeches whenever allies, reflect damage, take damage. He does make reflect damage stronger. There's a really weird problem though, which is damage that's absorbed by shield doesn't get reflected. So he has an anti-synergy in his kit. But at the same time, look, what's he bring you? Ally protection, reflect damage, a really good shield, AoE decrease speed, decrease attack, and also effectively AoE leech. It's a really good toolkit, especially for something like Hydra. Actually, I think he's really good for Hydra as a decreased speed champ that brings you tons of protection, decrease attack, leech. There's a lot in that toolkit, so I think he's actually a very solid champ. I like Neckrat a lot. Very good as well, I would say, for Iron Twins, right? Decrease attack, leech, decrease speed, shield and ally protection, reflect damage too. Great Iron Twins champ, and if they ever nerf Geomancer in Iron Twins, doesn't seem likely that they will, but if they ever do, Neckrat could be the sort of champion that could really massively jump in value there. Especially for like if they put in higher stages of Iron Twins and make him hard mode Iron Twins. He's immune to HP burn. Neckrat suddenly looks pretty good. So yeah, look, there we go, guys. Let me know what you think. Lots of stuff happening here. You've been asking for ages. Are guaranteed events back? Yes, they are. This is effectively a guaranteed sacred event with Michinaki. Let me know, are you thinking of going for it? I mean, like I said, I expect you're probably going to need about 20 sacreds worth of points, which is a ton of points. I'm well short, but I'm going to hopefully try to scrounge my way through. We'll see. We'll see. Thanks for watching, though. I'm curious what people have to say about this one. I'll see you all soon. Goodbye.